I've played Guild Wars 2 for over 20,000 hours, and I've learned a whole lot and collected just about everything in the game, so it's a perfect time to go round again. Join me in the adventures of my completely fresh account known only as the Microtransaction Enjoyer, on the quest of obtaining and unlocking everything in the game, from legendary gear and mounts to living world story episodes, maps, and ultimate gem store quality of life, purely through efficient and somewhat sensible gameplay. No real money required. Alright, and that's our final chest. And let's go ahead and leap into a Dragonstorm. So, this one is actually, well, what I am now doing, again, you know, a spoiler alert if you haven't done this before, but we're going to do like basically a story instance, but some of the story instances in Guild Wars 2 have kind of been remade into boss battles that you can do every day, or anytime you want, really, actually. And we're going to go do that now! So this event is actually this actually might be straight up the best gold per hour in the entire game right now. I am not even joking. Like, this is unreal how strong this is. Because it drops these items that are to do with legendary crafting. Some of the new legendary weapons use these items called Memories of Aurene. And the value on this stuff is absolutely wild right now. It is insane. We could be getting, I think we get around 8 gold from just doing this event. And this event is going to take us around 15 minutes, I want to say. It's a little bit quicker if you do it with like a group of friends and you kind of make your own squad and do stuff. So you can make it a little bit quicker. And typically what I would do with this is I would do strike missions with a team. Like that's what I'm going to do later on this account, by the way, is kind of we're going to get into some of the entry-level endgame stuff. And we're going to do strike missions. And then we're going to do a 10-player Dragonstorm immediately afterwards. That's going to do it really, really quickly, and it will allow us to get a crazy spike of gold. I think all of that will be 20 gold in around 30 minutes, I want to say, and we can do that every single day. That's going to be great. So once we get to like a decent, you know, like a decent tier of group, like a solid, robust group of gamers into that end game, 30, 40 minutes, 20 gold, boom, love it. Every single day, huge, absolutely massive. I guess we might as well start unlocking DH now, I think. DH or Willbender? I guess it doesn't terribly matter which one we do. I like Dragon Hunter. Let's do Dragon Hunter. Doesn't matter, though. Because we're going to be playing Firebrand anyway. I'm going to grab this banner. Oh, nice. And this is, again, always watch out for the cake, right? Because people always drop the cake down. Get that cake, gamers. Get the cake. And we're just going to focus on giving boons here. So, because we're in this thing called a pub, this is an interesting concept in the game. Something that they were kind of experimenting a little bit with. It is a public instance. So this is not an open world map as such. This is actually like a little dynamic instance that gets made. And players who hit the public join button all get thrown in together, basically. And it will make like a bunch of different copies of these things. So there probably won't be a squad for stuff like this. It's a lot more, it's just very free-flowing and very dynamic, all that sort of thing. But, you know, it's still pretty fun. And again, it's basically like it's just like the same as a meta event. Just fight some bosses, listen to the instructions, right? Like the game is telling you. Vaguely hit things and figure out how the event goes and use your abilities. And we'll be fine. We'll be fine. No problem. No problem. I'm getting mass lodestones now. I don't know why that's happening. But there you go. We've got a zillion things coming in from collections. Welcome to the new player experience. The game is throwing things at you that you will have no idea what they do. I barely know what that even does. Very nice. And we are done. Boss number 1 is down. We've got to fight a lot more. This is a bit of an epic event. Very story themed, very thematic. Some ominous kind of spooky things over here. Get ready for stuff to get very dramatic. Is this a 1 times a day event? That's correct, yes. You can do this event every day. And I would highly recommend doing it. It is very good. If you like progressing your account, you like gold. I mean, who doesn't, right? And this is the place to be. Huge money. And it's pretty chill as well. You know, like with all of these events, they're not going to be like Omega intense. These are very much, you don't have to worry about them failing. They will die. Might take a while sometimes, but the event is absolutely going to be a success in your favor. Okay. Let's get into this. Next part of the event is coming up. Whichever commander now. I'm actually going to join the squad. Boom. So, the reason why you want to join the squad, by the way, is because it makes your boon prioritization a bit better. So, basically, when you're in a squad like this, in a little group, what will happen is that all the buffs, right, get shared out to players in the squad first. This means that it's a little bit easier to make sure that everyone's got all of the key buffs, so everyone's doing the most damage and has got the most healing possible. Same thing with healing, right? So basically, being in the squad makes you do bigger damage, get more buffs, heal your allies more, right? Die less. It's just great. It's a good time. It's very, very good. You love to see it. You really do. And so it just means that we can be a little bit more efficient. So now in this component of the event, we have to kill both these guys at the same time. Okay, you can kind of see that there's a few ongoing motifs in Guild Wars 2 content. So basically all we have to do is just keep an eye on the hit points of the other character and just make sure that they die at about the same time. Hey, Chop Liver, thanks to the Prime! And you can see what a difference. Look at the differences it's made, right? Look at how many more boons we have. Look at our uptimes of all these really key buffs. And we could even do it a little bit better, right? Like, because you can actually arrange the subgroups. So basically, you can divide players into little subgroups of 5. And that means that the boon distribution is even better because Guild Wars 2 abilities typically affect 5 people. So kind of putting groups of 5 players that have really good synergy together makes it even better, right? This is something that you'll very commonly see when you're getting into endgame content, instance content like raids and strike missions and so on, just to give you that extra little bit of an edge. It can be significant, by the way. For example, like a group that doesn't have any subgroups versus a group that does have properly organized subgroups, the difference can be very high. I would say you could probably get 25% to 33% more damage. And that's obviously a lot, right? That's like having, in a group of 50 players, that's like having like another 10, 15 players just baked into that, right? You know what I mean? And that's obviously going to be a seriously big deal, like highly significant in just dealing more damage and just being more efficient. Because ultimately, that's what we like to do, right? You know, we're playing our MMO. We want to see those numbers go up, right? We want to see those numbers go up big and a little bit of efficiency thrown in there. Especially when it's, it's not like super sweaty, right? You just have to move people around a little bit and right-click on a little thing on the map and join. And away you go. Huge value. Looks like our bosses are on a good amount of health here, so we're just okay just to keep blasting and just go full DPS here, in my opinion. We're just nuking. We're nuking. And yeah, like I said, just to kind of reiterate there, if you want to join a squad, you can actually right-click on a commander's name in chat, in the chat window to join, but you can also go ahead and just right-click on the little icon. There's like a little commander icon here. So I'll just leave the squad and rejoin to demonstrate that, actually, just in case anyone missed it the first time. So we'll just go ahead and leave our squad now. And then what we can... Oh, wait, is it a private squad, actually? Why don't I see that? Oh, now I've trolled. Great. Oh, yeah, this map is a bit buggy. Sometimes players don't render. Okay, well, listen, maybe not the best example this time, because now I can't see the squad. I'm very sad about that. But that actually is a... Don't worry, that's just this map being a little bit weird. Normally that doesn't happen. I have ruined myself. This is tragic. Very unfortunate. I can't... What was the commander's name? Oh, great. I can try and maybe find the comm and click on them and join. Because, yeah, unfortunately, there's a bit of an issue where sometimes characters don't render correctly in exactly this map. It's a bit buggy. Don't worry, you'll learn to love the bugs. Guild Wars 2 is a game that has a fair few bugs. You know, you learn to love them. You learn to appreciate them. You know? Oh, did the comm disconnect? Ah, okay, well, that makes sense then. Never mind. Never mind. Very nice. All right, let's get in there. How should I get Ascended Gear? Ascended Gear. So you can get the trinkets in the story. Oh, nice. So that's probably the way you want to do it. In the story. Basically, playing some of the open world maps that come alongside the story, they allow you to farm currencies to buy your ascended trinkets, right? So rings, amulets, and so on. And then to get the actual weapons and armor, I actually think a really good way to do it is actually by playing strike missions. Strike missions are kind of entry-level content. You don't need ascended gear to do them. You're perfectly okay to just do exotic gear. And you get currencies that combine with a little bit of gold, you'll be able to buy yourself ascended gear. And then you can start playing the entry-level fractals that also have the potential to drop some ascended gear as well. So strike missions, raids are really good too. There is obviously crafting, although I'm not really a big fan of crafting. I feel like it's a little bit annoying, but you absolutely can do that. I'm not really into crafting, so I'm not going to do it that way, I don't think. I'm just going to play content to get ascended items, actually. Because I'm actually not... Here's another thing, actually. I am not... I think there's a lot of pressure that new players feel to get Ascended gear, but it's actually not quite as important as you might expect. Guild Wars 2 is not a super gear-driven game. Obviously, I know that people want to get their gear unlocks, right? They want to get, like, all the cool items, and that's really good. You definitely should, right? To get your character fully powered up and ready to go, all that kind of stuff. But actually, exotic gear, which is much easier to get because you can just buy it for a relatively low price from other players on the trading post, is actually going to be good to go, right? For the majority, you know, for almost all cases in the game, for almost all use cases. So I actually wouldn't worry about Ascended too early on. I'd focus on building an exotic build that you can then use to farm gold and other resources. That you can kind of chain into that and just like focus on strike missions and probably some raid content as well. Fractals, you can kind of be doing along the side. So open world strikes and raids, and then you can go from there. And you'll get a lot of Ascended gear from doing strike missions, raids, and then of course like gold and open world farming and stuff like that. It's big. And yes, don't buy Berserker gear directly on the trading post. Make sure you buy the kind of named items, the roleplay items. The roleplay items. We'll talk about this a little bit later, Frosty. Wow, look, the roleplay, they're kissing. Insane. Oh, wait, they blew each other up. Oh, no. Story spoilers, by the way. Watch out for that.
It's done.
And there it is. Now, after all of that, what do we actually get? Well, we're going to get ourselves 2 gold, Tyrian defense seals, which can be traded in for materials, memories of Aurene, and some unidentified gear. And adding all of that together is super nice. You can see that these things here, the memories of Aurene, they are very expensive. They're actually 66 silver each. So we basically just got ourselves like, you know, like a good 4 gold there, 2 gold directly from the event, a bunch of materials, and the currency there is also highly valuable. And I can show you how to do that now. Okay, we go over to the defense seal vendor here, and then, well, we can just go ahead and buy ourselves some of these supply boxes, because these things give us a lot of big money. Let's talk to the discount one. Hello, discount vendor. Oh, wait, no. I am not a great champion. I don't have the master. I can't do that yet. Unfortunate. But let's see what we can do here. We can get the Coden one, and then what else can we do? We can get, like, the next one down, right? I think the Deldrimor one is the one we can get. Let's see. Listen, the little bit of game knowledge here, but look, stuff like this is honestly very, very confusing, like which ones you should buy. It doesn't actually matter that much to us, but if you are interested, there's a lot of websites out there like Fast Farming. You can just Google that and you'll get to their website, and it will tell you exactly how much these things are worth. But in general, don't worry about it too much when you're new. Look, Guild Wars 2 is a game that is quite confusing sometimes and quite bizarre with... with how you actually spend your currencies, but don't worry. You know, even players who have played for a long time, we haven't got a clue either, so you're in the clear. But you can see we just turned that 50 currency we got, by the way, into a lot of gold. So we turned 50 of those little seals that we got for Dragonstorm into, like, probably another... We low-rolled insanely. This is, like, the worst possible items, I think, that we could get from that. It's a bit unfortunate. But actually, we got a decent roll here, I think, actually. Although that's not... I don't think Onyx loads... Yeah, that was an insane roll! Oh my god! Yeah, a bit of variance there. Wow, that roll was crazy. We just got 15 Onyx load zones from 24 of those currencies. So we could have bought 2 of those today. And we high rolled with an insane 7.5 gold from opening 1 chest. Right there. So how much was that Dragonstorm worth? We got 2 gold from the actual liquid gold. We got Memories of Aurene for around kind of 4 gold-ish. We got 7.5 gold from rolling these Onyx load zones, and like a little bit more, like another like 1 gold from everything else. That was 14.5 gold for 15 minutes. Pretty good. Now, to be fair, that was actually an insane high roll, not gonna lie. It's usually not that good. It would probably, on average, about half of that, I want to say. In that sort of range, but still, you get the idea, right? Stuff like this, it's pretty good. You're making big money.